Immediately after the visit to Astana, the rat licked by Tokayev rushed to Rostov, where he received a portion of victorious reports from Gerasimov and Shoigu. "Don't worry, Your Majesty is shit, the roasting is going according to plan, the goals in the Kobzoneri are being achieved." They didn't even show a map, they made do with a globe. And in a Pashechka, they decisively combined the direct line of the rat catcher with a press conference. This pre-stump event will take place on December 14. The campaign has not yet begun, but Putin is already leading it with all his might. He's an old bald man, he's got the cat in his hands. All the same, no one will seriously fight with him for power. If you stretch legitimacy on a stump, there will be no chance, with 85% of the votes. True, the furry inhabitants of the cave are in a bad mood. 39% experience anxiety, sadness, anger and other negative feelings. Even murders in Ukraine are not invigorating. The State Duma proposes to diversify the cave games, for example, to raise morale and pump up the patriotic stench with beatings on Red Square. Deputy Andrei Svintsov proposed flogging Pugachev, and generally forcing those stars who left, betrayed, but now decided to return, to beg for forgiveness on their knees on Red Square. And he could have broken his jaw. Good uncle. The general brutality of the cave has long been off scale. From the spiritual dismemberment of Grad to the frost-bitten Magadan region. But there will be no bottom, the empire whistles past all the support points. Now private clinics in Crimea have voluntarily refused to carry out abortion procedures after a corresponding request from the relevant departments of the cave. The rat wants more meat according to the principle, "You will give birth to me anyway. And the military commissar will call you back." All the same, life means suffering on the way to the crypt, and the food on the road will only get worse. Even the speed of mobile internet is falling due to lack of equipment. True, this does not apply to Moscow, as the main enclave to which all fascist investments flock. However, even the United Arab Emirates has already agreed to ban the re-export to Russia of a number of critical goods that can be used for military purposes. Turkey is also considering a similar measure, which back in March 2023 distributed among companies a list of goods prohibited for export to Russia. But within the framework of pre-stump events, all this will be presented as a benefit, since the more the cave is isolated, the less enemy influence. Just look how the planet is sausage. We nobly want to take back what is ours while Israel is destroying the unfortunate Palestinian people. In France, the Russian specialists have finally poked their ears out in the matter of applying Stars of David to the facades of Parisian houses. This is a new Russian operation of digital interference in French affairs. Its essence is to use international crises to create tension in public debates in France and Europe and spread confusion, the French Foreign Ministry said in a statement. Of course, Lavrov's stable went into obscurity, although it is clear that the racists joyfully cosplayed as Nazis, involving illegal immigrants and political outcasts in the special operation. Everything that was once developed in the manuals of the KGB of the USSR and tested in third world countries under Andropov, today has been taken out of hiding and is actively used to undermine the universe. Well, Putlow knows how to spoil things. He does it willingly and abundantly, not skimping on sacrifices. By arming and preparing Hamas for attack, the Kremlin has made itself an irreconcilable enemy. Israel will not negotiate, just as today it does not pay attention to the humanitarian groans within the walls of the UN and the heart-rending cries of fighters for the rights of the Palestinian dispossessed. And, having dealt with the terrorist monkeys, fellow Jews will certainly focus on their masterminds. There is no doubt that Tel Aviv in the future will actively help Ukraine in roasting the fool. But let's admit one unpleasant truth. Until their houses collapse on the heads of the shaggy snouts to the heart-rending howl of sirens, until they run skipping towards bomb shelters, with the pulsating thought, "I'll have time, I won't have time," they will continue to live in the paradigm, "We're just bombing Ukraine, and you won't do anything to us for it." They will continue to rave about the mythical Nazis in Kiev, freely zigging at the concerts of the fascist shaman and praying for the nuclear triad of retribution. 54% of the cave population returned to a state of public peace, as befits the dead. They are categorically convinced that their empire cannot lose. And they are right. Because this empire does not need to be defeated. It just needs to be destroyed.